Soccer fans, welcome back for this episode of Studs Up World Cup edition here on Latin Post. I'm David Salazar. This is my colleague Edwin Molina, and this is actually a rather sad one to go through because this is our final Team USA segment of this World Cup.
My heart is heavy doing this one. I'm still hurting from yesterday. I know we weren't supposed to win, but hope is a dangerous thing in sports, even for fans.
Yeah, of course.
And it crept in, man. As much as I tried to, crept in,
I have to admit, 4 years ago when they lost to Ghana, I was devastated. I could not take the pain of that loss because I thought they might have deserved to win that. It didn't hurt as much this year, maybe because my expectations were not as high and because Belgium really did. I mean, objectively speaking, Belgium was the better team on the pitch
absolutely.
for 120 minutes. And I have to say, United States played a great final 15 minutes. Not so much prior to that. It was a really great game, and Tim Howard made 16 saves, historic performance. Secretary of Defense.
It's just a great nickname for him, man. I'm hoping another club takes him instead of Everton. I like Everton, no disrespect, but that's like being, a friend of mine put it best, it's like playing for the Tampa Bay Rays. Yeah, you're gonna compete, in MLB, but are you gonna win a ring? The same thing with Tim Howard. I want to see him in a bigger club now. But that's just, I'm being biased.
What were your impressions of that game, and what do you think in terms of how the USA played in this tournament? What do you think?
First of all, I can't lawyer up for Michael Bradley anymore. I've been lawyering up for him for a long, long time.
This was one of his better performances, by the way.
Which is kind of sad.
He had the brilliant assist on the Julian Green goal. Yeah, he didn't have a great game, and I don't know what happened. He was the heart and soul of the U.S. midfield, and he just didn't have a good tournament. I mean, it happens.
And he had great qualifiers. Anyone that watched the qualifiers, I know some people just jump in and watch the World Cup and make assumptions. Anyone that saw the qualifiers saw he had a great qualifier.
And in the games leading up to the World Cup and the friendlies, I mean, yeah, they're friendlies, but he was the man leading the way. Him and Clint Dempsey were linking up really well. Not so much at the end. I have to question Jurgen Klinsmann's decision to put Dempsey in by himself all up front. It didn't work. When Dempsey moved back into a much deeper position and they put Wondolowski up front, it worked a lot better. Because Dempsey's a skilled guy who is good with the ball. He shouldn't be isolated up front. I know that the original plan was for him and Altidore to play together and Altidore to play a little higher. That didn't ever work. They never found a good replacement for Altidore. I just don't.
That's part of the problem with the program is we don't have any natural-born strikers. We got tons of midfielders.
I think the problem, though, is just the lack of skill. We're just not there yet. And you saw it against Belgium. The skill level was just superior. And I stated before, you had two game plans. You can go and try and play head-to-head with Belgium and try and outskill them and just drive up the pitch and attack and leave yourself exposed at the back. Or you can try and defend, contain, hope Tim Howard does what he did, and then hope for that nice little rush up the pitch and that lucky goal, which could have come if Wondolowski would have headed the ball into the net.
I was just about to get into Wando. I think, you're talking about the quality of play, the quality of U.S. soccer, and I think Wando kind of captured it in that one moment, that one play in that. Look, MLS has stepped up leaps and bounds. What is it? About 70 to 80% of that team is Major League Soccer guys, which is great for the program. And as a MLS soccer fan, it's exciting to see. But again, going to natural-born killers, natural-born strikers. I mean, Wando had him dead to rights. You let a world-class guy that plays in Europe or South America, they're going to make you pay.
They had that in.
And look, Wando's a lifer. He's one of those heart and soul guys of MLS. His number will be retired in San Jose. So, and I'm not trying to knock the guy or MLS, but it just shows that we still have further to go in the program.
I definitely agree, but I think Jurgen Klinsmann really showed that the one thing that impressed me the most about the U.S. in this tournament is that they never stopped fighting.
No.
Even when they were being outclassed, which they were for significant parts, they always had this drive, always had this energy. I mean, against Belgium, just look at other teams that went to the 120-minute mark in their respective knockout games. The USA had full energy in the tank. Even when they went down 2-0, they had full energy in the tank to drive play. They did not quit. And that is one thing I think you're going to see a lot under Klinsmann. One thing I am concerned about under Klinsmann, though, is fitness. They say he's a fitness guru, and yet we saw it again yesterday. The hamstring injury.
Another, what is it, third, fourth? You got to start questioning we lost Altidore, we lost Johnson, I forgot who else. I mean, these are key pieces, love him or hate him, these are key pieces to the machine, if you will. And, you got to start questioning the medical staff. I don't know if Klinsmann or the medical staff.
Or just the routine in general. So there's got to be something. So first, the USA needs to really work on the skill level. I don't know if youth academies are ever going to happen in this country, but that skill level's got to work. And then we got to see something with the fitness here because that's unforgivable. The only USA is the only one that I think consistently had those problems.
And I will say this: I think MLS is they're in the right direction. Again, a lot of those guys, they came from MLS and they look great. And it's going to take time. I think Americans are so impatient, to succeed.
But we're in the right direction.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of Studs Up World Cup Edition. Please follow our coverage on LatinPost.com or on Twitter @LatinPostSports. I'm David Salazar. My colleague Edwin Molina. Thank you very much for joining us and look forward to our other coverage. And thank you, Team USA, for a great World Cup.